Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Kassandra and today we're doing a yin-yang yoga practice for stress relief. So let's start in a child's pose, getting centered. Big toes come to touch, knees fall apart, relaxing the upper body down. So part of using yoga for stress relief is learning to stay in the moment, focus on the breath, and letting go of any thoughts or emotions that you might still be holding on to from your day. So see if you can start to release that here, softening the jaw. And we'll take 5 deep belly breaths. With every exhale, letting go a little bit more of anything that no longer serves you. Soft breaths in and out through the nose. And let's slowly make our way back up onto hands and knees. So bring your palms underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, fingertips spreading. And let's do cat and cow. So on the inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, curling tailbone up, elbows stay straight. And as you exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. Very slow, gentle movements. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, chin to chest, tailbone curls under. Inhale, heart reaches forward. Exhale, belly button hugs in, relax your head. Last one, inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Come back through to neutral and let's do thread the needle. So left arm reaches up towards the sky, rolling your left shoulder back. And as you exhale, swing your left arm through, lowering left shoulder and left ear down onto the ground. Focus on rolling and peeling your right shoulder back here, using your right palm to press into the mat, creating space through the neck, with your hips still high up over your knees. And if you'd like to take this deeper, you can always bring your right palm onto your lower back, or maybe holding onto your inner left thigh crease. The breath should still be deep here. Let's bring our right palm down on an inhale. Lift yourself all the way back up through to center. Left fingertips reach up. And then exhale to lower. Second side, right arm extends up. And then exhale, swing your right arm through, lowering shoulder and ear down onto the mat, using your left palm to press down into the mat. Get deeper into your twist. Belly button hugs in. Relax your shoulder blades down your back, and if you'd like to take this deeper, you can always bring your left palm towards your lower back, or holding on to your inner right thigh crease. Try to relax your head and neck here. Let's bring the left palm back down. On an inhale, lift all the way back up, right fingertips reach up. And as you exhale, soften and down. Let's find our plank pose, so stepping your palms in front of you, shoulders stacked directly over top of your wrists. You can straighten your legs. We're here for about 3 breaths, so if you need to, you can keep your knees down onto the mat. Focus on reaching your heart forward, squeezing your inner thighs together, tailbone pointing towards your heels. Back of the neck stays long. And exhale, downward facing dog. Curling tailbone up towards the sky, pressing your chest towards your thighs. And let's start to bend into our left knee, right knee. Paddling the feet here. Doing any little movements that feel good. Softening the neck, maybe shaking out the head. And don't worry about having straight legs. Just gentle inversions, reversing the blood flow. Step your right foot forward to the top of the mat and lower your left knee down. Let's find our twist from here, so please keep your left palm down onto the mat. And from here, your right arm reaches up. Same thing as in thread the needle, you're peeling your right shoulder back, looking wherever is comfortable for you today. Let your hips sink down low here, getting deep into your left hip flexors. And let's bring our right palm back down onto the mat. Step your right foot a few inches back. Turn all toes towards the right edge of your mat, leaning into your left palm so that your right arm can reach up and over. So a modified side plank here. Using both feet to firmly press into the mat to lift your hips a little bit higher. Take one more inhale here, maybe to get a little bit more lift through the lower body, and then drop your right palm down, find your downward facing dog once more. Feet hip width distance apart, soften the neck. On an inhale, come forward into plank pose, heart reaches forward, and then let's lower our knees down onto the mat, make your way down onto your belly, elbows hug in. Bring your palms next to your chest. And on an inhale, chin, chest, and palms lift up, baby cobra. Exhale, soften down. Keep your hips and lower body on the mat. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. One more here. Inhale, chin, chest, and palms lift up. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you. Exhale, soften down and make your way back through to downward facing dog. Feet hip width distance apart, palms shoulder width distance apart. So take a breath or two in downward facing dog. Pressing your heels towards the floor, and let's bring our left foot forward, dropping our right knee down onto the mat. Low lunge on the second side. So this time let's place our right palm down onto the mat. As you inhale, left arm reaches up. Find your twist. And this twist is not just coming from your shoulders, it's really coming from your lower belly. So pull your lower belly in. Rolling that left shoulder back further, maybe looking up. And let's drop our palms down onto the mat. Step your left foot a few inches back and roll all 10 toes towards the left edge of your mat. Lean into your right hand. Lift your left arm up and over. So you're on the blade of your right foot, pressing both feet to lift your hips up a little bit higher. Engaging the obliques. Set your left hand down, downward facing dog. And let's take the same flow that we've done before. So inhale into plank pose, and then maybe lower your knees down first before coming all the way down onto your belly, elbows hugging close towards the ribs. 3 baby cobras, so inhale, chin, chest, and palms lift up. Exhale to soften it down. 2 more. Inhale to rise, back of the neck stays long. Exhale, lower. 1 more here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower, plant your palms. And this time stay up onto your knees and we'll find our puppy pose. So keep your hips directly over top of your knees, walk your palms forward, and melt your upper body down. And if the floor is too far away here, you can always place a block underneath your forehead. Getting a deeper opening through the shoulders and chest. Start to make your way back up. And let's sit up onto our shins, making our way into gate pose here. So step your right foot out, turning your right toes forward. Slide your right palm down your leg, and as you inhale, left arm reaches up and over. Deep side bend here from your left shoulder all the way down into your waist. And maybe soften the neck to relax the head. Use your obliques to lift yourself up, and let's drop our left palm down onto the mat. Right arm reaches up and over. Stretching out the other side here, keep your right foot firmly planted on the mat. Take one more smooth, deep breath here. And start to bring your right arm back. Lift yourself all the way back up. And let's switch sides. So bringing your right knee in, step your left leg out, left toes point forward. Slide your left hand down your left leg, and as you inhale, right arm reaches up and over. Belly stays engaged, chest is lifted. And let's start to pull back up and drop our right palm down onto the mat. Left arm reaches up and over. One nice diagonal line. One more deep inhale here. And then lift yourself back up through to center. And let's set our hips back down onto the mat, coming to seated here with your legs in front of you, knees bent. A little bit more core work, so feel your chest lifted. Maybe hold on to the backs of your thighs as you start to lift your left toes off of the mat. If it feels good for you, reach both arms out. Really remain lifted through the chest and through the lower back. If you'd like to go deeper, straighten your left leg. Shoulders roll back. One more breath here. And exhale to set it down. Hold on to the backs of your thighs and we'll switch sides. Right leg hovers. Either keep your palms where they are or reach both arms out. Notice if you're rounding through the lower back here. And maybe straighten your right leg. Lifting your collarbones up a little bit higher. And let's set our right toes down. Hold on to the backs of your thighs, doing both legs this time. Bringing your shins parallel towards the ground. Toes and feet stay engaged. Maybe reach your arms out. Holding here for 3 very long, smooth breaths. With every inhale, getting a little bit more lift through the chest. Back of the neck stays long. And let's cross our ankles, plant your palms down, and pick everything up off of the ground, squeezing your thighs to your belly. And soften it down. Make your way into your downward facing dog, however you need to get there. Maybe paddling the feet hip-width distance apart. On an inhale, right leg rises up towards the sky. Go ahead and bend your right knee and open up your right hip. Right knee is the tallest point here. Straighten and square your right hip before stepping your right foot to the outside edge of your right palm, finding your lizard pose. So for these first few breaths, let's keep our back knee off of the mat, really engaging our muscles here, building up strength. Heart reaches forward, stay high up onto your palms. Pressing into both feet evenly. Try not to hold your breath. And let's drop our left knee down onto the mat. If you'd like to go deeper into the pose, start to lower down onto your forearms. If this is too much, stay where you were on your palms. Sending the breath directly where you feel the sensation the most. If you are on your forearms, start to make your way back up onto your palms. Curl your back toes under to lift your back knee. And from here, let's step our left foot forward to the top of the mat and find a forward fold. So your feet are wider than hip-width distance apart here. Relax the upper body, bend your knees if needed. And we'll find Malasana Yogi Squat. So turn your heels in, toes out, bend your knees, sink your hips down low. Bring your hands at your heart, using your elbows to open up a little bit more through the inner thighs. So especially here, try not to round through the upper back. Crown of the head reaches up. Bring your palms down onto the mat, straighten through your legs, and step back, downward dog. On an inhale, let's lift our heels up high, come forward into plank pose. And as you exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly. Find your full cobra on the inhale. Keep your palms pressing into the mat, elbows hugging in. And then as you exhale, downward facing dog. Second side, left leg reaches up, bend into your left knee and open up your hip. Keep your left shoulder rolling down. Left knee is high. Straighten and square your left leg and step your foot forward to the outside edge of your left palm. And let's keep our right knee lifted for this first variation of lizard pose. Palms down onto the mat. Heart reaching forward, really pressing into your back right heel, staying strong through both legs. Hips sinking down low. Building up a little bit of heat through the lower body. Take another deep inhale here. And let's lower our right knee down onto the mat. Maybe stay here or come down onto your forearms, getting deeper into the inner groin, inner thighs. Allowing the neck to be relaxed, head to be heavy. Start to come back up onto your palms if you weren't there already, and then step back into downward facing dog. Walk your palms all the way towards the back of your mat, finding your forward fold. Feet are still hip-width distance apart. Interlace your fingers behind your lower back and reach your knuckles up and over. Squeezing your shoulder blades behind you, maybe shaking your head a few times. And try not to lock your elbows here. A little bit of a bend. Start to bring your fingertips back down onto the mat. Bend your knees generously and slowly come all the way up to stand, rolling one vertebrae at a time. Head and shoulders are the last to come up. Standing tall in mountain pose. So we'll play with balancing postures next. Bring your hands to your heart, bend your knees, sink your hips, and find your chair pose. So big toes are touching here, squeezing your inner thighs together, tailbone pointing down towards the earth. And let's find a twist, left elbow over your right thigh. Make sure your left knee stays in line with your right, pressing your palms together firmly, rolling your right shoulder back. Belly button hugs in, even here. And maybe sink your hips a little bit lower. Come back through to center, straighten your legs. And this time start to balance onto your right leg and bring your left foot maybe to the inner calf or inner thigh, finding balance in tree pose here. Pressing that left knee open. Let's find movement with the breath. So as you inhale, start to reach your arms up overhead, palms come to touch. And as you exhale, draw them into center. 2 more times. Inhale, reach it up. And then exhale, slowly bring it down. Last one like that. Inhale, reach out, grow tall through the spine. Exhale, hug it all into center. And from here, let's squeeze our left knee in towards the chest, maybe holding on to the front of the shin. Take one breath here, grow taller through the spine. And then exhale, step your left foot down. And maybe shake it out a few times. Let's do that on the second side. Bend your knees, sink your hips, find your chair pose. And this time, let's bring our right elbow over the top of your left thigh, finding your twist. Make sure your right knee does not come forward past your left. Maybe lift all 10 toes so most of your body weight is in your heels. Rolling that left shoulder back. Pressing your palms together firmly, take one more breath here. Smooth exhale to come all the way back up, straightening through your legs. Find a strong foundation through your left leg and bring the sole of your right foot to the inside of your shin or maybe the inside of your inner thigh. Palms at your heart. Let's once more find movement with breath. Inhale, both arms reach up and over, palms come to touch, and then exhale, draw it in. Inhale, lift your arms up and over, grow taller through the spine. Exhale, hands to the heart. One more, just like this. Inhale, reach up. Maybe look up to challenge the gaze and balance. Exhale, hands lower down. And let's go ahead and squeeze our right knee in towards the chest, as close as you can get it towards you. And let's drop our right foot down next to the left. Step your feet wide apart, 3 or 4 feet here. Both feet parallel to the short edges of your mat. Bring your hands onto your hips, lifting your collarbones up towards the sky, and as you exhale, fold forward. Maybe dropping your palms down onto the mat. You can always keep a soft bend through the knees here. Maybe widen your stance if needed. And then bring your palms directly underneath your shoulders. Come halfway up so your chest is parallel towards the ground. Let's keep our left palm down onto the mat, and as you inhale, right arm reaches all the way up. Rolling that right shoulder back, maybe looking up if it's comfortable here. You can always place a block under your supporting hand. Let's bring right hand down onto the mat and switch sides. Left arm reaches. Rolling your left shoulder back, pressing into both feet evenly. And bring fingertips back down onto the mat. Turn your heels in, toes out, hands onto your waist to come all the way up. And let's find temple pose, so bending into your knees, sinking your hips down low. Brace your knees and the tops of your thighs with your palms here, and then drop your right shoulder down. Using your right hand to press a little bit deeper into the inner thigh. Inhale, come back through to center and switch sides. Left shoulder drops down. Lift yourself back up. Interlace your fingers, reaching your palms down and all the way up. Keep your hips sinking down low, knees pressing open. One long line from the crown of your head all the way down towards your tailbone. Let's straighten through our legs and step your left foot forward to the top of the mat. Finding your mountain pose from here. Inhale, both arms reach up, palms come to touch. Exhale, fold forward, hinge at the hips. Halfway lift, inhale, fingertips onto your shins, flat back. Exhale to fold, plant your palms, step both feet back into your downward dog. So let's start to lower our knees back down onto the mat, move your ankles out of the way, and come into a seated pose, coming into our yin practice. So holding, stretching postures for a little bit longer, maybe have a block close by. We'll come into a forward fold, bend your knees first so that your belly stays in contact with your thighs, and then start to walk your heels forward. And so from here, it might feel good to place a block directly underneath your knees so that they keep a soft bend. We're trying to make this as restorative and passive as possible. So try to keep your upper body glued towards your legs, softening the arms, shoulder blades down your back. And that might mean that you need to use a little bit more padding. So just try to settle yourself into a pose in a way that works for you. And we'll take 5 to 10 very long deep breaths here. Slowly start to lift yourself out of the pose until your shoulders are back up in line with your hips. Moving the block out of the way, let's take turtle. Bringing the soles of your feet to touch, let your knees fall open, and bring your knees at about a 90-degree angle so your heels are pretty far from your hips. Start to fold forward here, and you can either place a block underneath your forehead, or if the mobility is there, you can reach your forearms underneath your shins. And once more, staying here for a very long 10 deep breaths. Relaxing the upper body, softening through the jaw, belly, and legs. Letting go of any tension or wandering thoughts you might still be holding on to. Let's lift up out of this pose once more. Go slowly and ease your way all the way down onto your back, keeping your knees bent with your feet on the ground. We'll take a laying spinal twist to let go of any residue you might still be feeling in your lower back here. So let's drop both knees over towards the right. See if you can keep your left shoulder blade down onto the mat, so that your collarbones and heart are facing up towards the sky and you're twisting from your navel down. Send all of your breath into your lower back and lower belly, maybe allowing the eyes to close. Switching sides, inhale, lift both knees back up through to center. And this time, drop your knees over towards the left. Keep your right shoulder blade firmly planted on the mat. Feel the nice stretch through the lower back, sacrum, right hip. Soften into it. Inhale, lift your knees back up through to center and grab a hold of your block. We'll come into a supported bridge variation. So lift your hips up so you can slide the block directly underneath your hips and tailbone. Start at the lowest level here. You don't need to go high up. And once you're there, let's straighten our legs, pointing toes up towards the sky and just really allowing the legs to be weightless, upper body to be grounded. This is a really wonderful pose for stress relief. Soft bend in the knees. You can flex and point your toes or do a few ankle rolls. Reversing blood flow. Notice if you're tightening your jaw or frowning. Whenever you're ready, start to bend your knees, bringing the soles of your feet back down onto the mat. Lift your hips to move the block out of the way and come into your Shavasana, final resting pose. Straightening your legs, taking up as much space as you're comfortable taking with your upper body, palms facing up. Come back to whatever breath is natural to you. And learn to let go of your practice. Let go of the day you've had. The thoughts you're holding on to. Just feel them melt away with every exhale, allowing yourself to sink deeper, feeling the pull of gravity. Softening every muscle in your body. Thank you so much for doing this class with me. I hope it leaves you feeling rested and a little bit more peaceful. If you did enjoy this class, please remember to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it with your friends. It does mean the world to me. Thank you again. Namaste.